Despite my lack of regularity, I have been uploading videos on this account since 2018. I tend to always have some sort of video I'm working on. However, whether it's undiagnosed ADD or something else, I find it hard to take them all the way through. Most of them never even reach the writing phase, or even worse than that, having an unfinished script that I never return to. As it so happens, I lost interest in another video, but I put so many hours into it that it got me thinking, how could I salvage and repurpose crap that I put effort into and never really use? Well, this is the answer, my good people. Today, I present to you my unfinished projects, giving a rundown of how I feel about them in a short format. So, without further ado, let's begin what I call my ADD Chronicles. Let's start with the game that actually kicked off this idea, Far Cry 3 Classic on PS4. This was meant to be a Platinum Trophy video. For those who don't really know, my first videos and the intent of my channel initially was to Platinum games, sharing tips and tricks on how to do it, while also talking a bit about the game itself. I quickly abandoned that idea, but at the time I started Far Cry 3, I was really into watching trophy YouTubers, so I felt the kick to do it again. But the problem was that I didn't have any fun with Far Cry at all. The game's graphics look appealing and there are nice parts to the story, but man, for the most part I found the exploration, missions, and honestly the gameplay a bore. Let me explain before I get crucified. The gameplay is fun for a while, particularly enjoy stealth killing enemies, however I couldn't really find the proper sensitivity, so aiming always felt forced and bad, having to rely a lot on the auto-aim lock-on. After fast dies, the story just drags on. I also found the animals to be extremely aggressive for no reason whatsoever, which was funny but also super annoying. I had great memories of this game from back when it released, but now I just can't stand it for very long. Maybe I'm just burned out on the formula, I don't know man. But one thing that has absolutely no excuses and is just objectively bad is the tower climbing sessions. Oh my god, I wanted to tear my hair out so bad. Whoever came up with these stupid, disorienting platform puzzles needs to be taken out back, if you know what I mean. Honestly, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I got frustrated and annoyed with the game, and as such, when the credits rolled, I just wanted out. I need a little comfort food after that, so let's talk about Pokemon Shining Pearl, a game that, contrary to Far Cry, was just relaxing. When it comes to Pokemon, I'm part of the problem. Although I never buy them full price, I still want them. Even if they are riddled with problems, it's just a game I can almost play automatically. I hadn't played this gen of Pokemon in a long time, so it was nice to pick up my Switch whenever I could and go through Sinnoh. I wasn't too fond of the chibi look, but the Pokemon itself looked good and the game did the bare minimum to be a remake. Note, I said here bare minimum. I'm not stupid. This was a cheap way to capitalize on the franchise, but whatever. The reason why I gave up on the video is because I don't have much to say about it. It's old Pokemon with quality of life features, and that's kind of it. That kind of sums it up. I could be angry about the greed of it, but man, it helps me de-stress in a stressful time, and for that I have to let it off the hook. Unlike this next game which stressed me out to no end, Crash the Insane Trilogy, specifically Crash 1, being probably the oldest video that I dropped, and the last game in a long time that I had tried to platinum. Yes, it's the trophy talk again. But unlike Far Cry, I did have fun until the end. The controls felt nice, the levels were hard, but felt fair and fun to go through, for the most part at least. The music is good, and I got to the end credits with a smile on my face. However, the time relics were hell to complete, and I ended up one short to get the platinum. I was burned out, and realized it just wasn't worth it. I play games because I enjoy them. I created this channel because I wanted to share that enjoyment. Forcing myself to continue was just burning through me, and I had enough of it. I might one day revisit the trilogy and make a full video about it, as it's been long enough, but that's for the future, not for now. Another game I didn't feel like I could add anything to was Super Mario World Bowser's Fury, a fun 3D platformer with the fun gimmick that everything is cat themed and Bowser is huge and attacks you once in a while. I had fun with it, but I kinda just disconnected while playing it, and honestly, it's hard to remember anything very specific about it. On the other hand, Super Mario World is a delightful, colorful, fun 3D Mario game that I have enjoyed time and time again. Every level is so much fun. Granted, I played the entire game co-op, and that always helps, but it's some of the most fun I've had with Mario and platformers in general in a while. Okay. This next one, I just want to delete the footage off my hard drive without feeling guilty. I really don't feel like talking about it. Almost immediately after Crash, I played Doom. I did beat it, but I quickly found out I don't care for Doom that much. I can tell there's a good game here, nice visuals, quick violent gameplay, a badass story about some anime per pack kind of dude. But I don't know, it just didn't click with me. And no matter how much I tried, I couldn't get myself to dedicate time to a game that left me lukewarm. I wasn't annoyed, I wasn't having fun. It's hard to describe. I do admit that sometimes things hit me differently depending on my mood and what's happening in my life at the time, as I think it does to everyone. And one day I might give its sequel another chance, but for now I'm good. I'm just glad to be done with it. This next game I thoroughly recommend, and I want to try the sequel eventually. This is Figment, and honestly, life just got in the way of this one. The script was halfway done, so if you excuse me, I will repurpose parts of it here. Figment was a game I knew nothing about, and despite a few things here and there, I was extremely pleased with. Another one of those, it's cheap, so let's give it a try games. It surprised me with its originality and a way that it tackled heavy subjects on a soft and caring way. An adventure game with lots of puzzle elements where you follow Dusty and Piper as they traverse through the mind of someone trying to rid them of nightmares, which are essentially fears of the mind. It's a very simple story, but it's told in such an interesting way with lots of creativity. It tackles not so good feelings that everyone has had at least once in their life in a way that still feels lighthearted and sincere, leaving you with a nice feel and a cute message by the end of the game. It's one of those indie games that tug at your emotions, but not in a bad or depressing way. So many games I play nowadays are so dark and bleak that it's nice to play something that holds your hand and just tells you it's okay to feel down. It's normal to not be okay once in a while. You will get back up and you will be better. All you have to do is not give up. The level design is also very good at portraying the story and its themes, with places being abandoned looking and others being overrun with darkness. It's a very surreal looking game with some very nice visuals, and I think they did a good job at utilizing the idea that you are inside someone's mind and the bizarreness that would entail to make visually compelling levels. In these levels you will mostly do two things: puzzles and combat. The game also has a big emphasis on music with some banger boss fight themes. If there's nothing else you get out of this video, then at least hear me out on this one. Try Figment. It's fun, usually very cheap, short, and a cute game that I think everyone can enjoy. I think this is a good place to end it on a very positive note. I hope you enjoyed my ADD Chronicles, and to anyone who is a returning viewer, thank you so much for putting up with what feels, at least most of the time, like disjointed rants about my little hobby. There are a lot more games I could put here, so let me know if this was a good idea or if it should have been trashed as well. Thank you so much for watching, subscribe, like, all that crap, and hopefully see you next time.